this area atop mountains, only in the northeast of the United States in several small locations. Have you ever wondered how these plants got here? Why they're only on the tops of the mountains? Why don't they resemble others, plants that live at lower elevation, below the trees? Why did they stay? Why do they live only in these places? And most importantly, why didn't they disappear with climatic changes and other things? For those of you that don't know me, I am Elijah Schreiber, an environmental science major at UVM who has interests in mountain ecosystem, alpine meadows, and the climate change impacts upon them. I did a white section hike of the AT in 2017 and through hiked the Long Trail in 2020. Alpine areas are defined as areas where trees are less than 8 feet tall. There is a difference between tree line and timberline, which defines subalpine areas. Plants in these areas can be killed by a single footstep and can take years to a couple decades to recover. Subalpine bogs and wetlands are not really alpine zone environments, and elevation is dependent on many factors, with areas under 4,000 feet often the result of natural bald areas or forest fires. Across the Northeast, there are 5 main peaks in Vermont: the Franconia Ridge and the Presidential Range in New Hampshire, 10 to 15 peaks in the High Peaks Wilderness in the Adirondacks, Katahdin, the Bigelows in Maine, and myriad other summits with tiny areas of alpine zones. These areas are fragile, beautiful, strong, and significant to the alpine zone and the rest of the montane ecosystem. Now you may be wondering how they survive and adapt to this harsh environment. For starters, some common alpine plants and animals include Diapensia, alpine bluet, dwarf cinquefoil, Labrador tea, bog laurel, alpine cranberry and blueberry, bigelow sedge, mountain sandwort, alpine goldenrod, various grasses and sedges, krummholz, and birds, animals, and insects. These plants have to survive in cold temps with harsh winds and myriad things such as hoarfrost, rime ice, deep snowpack, rain, thunderstorms, and hail. How do they survive the winter? Well, evergreens, stiff waxy leaves adapted to retain moisture, and krummholz protecting other plants from the wind. Climate change will have limited impacts upon these alpine zones, as there is limited habitat between the timberline and mountain tops, but the wind and the ice protects and prevents plants from creeping upslope and minimizing their amount of habitat. How do we protect these alpine areas? And with trails and hikers, the best way are current signage, the white string ropes found in Vermont, rock walls confining the trails often seen in New Hampshire, and then also, when you reach treeline, making sure to think about staying on trail. Other things to do to help protect and monitor plants is that you can upload photos to the Northeast Alpine Flower Watch program on iNaturalist, one of many crowdsourced citizen science projects. Also, manage to always follow Leave No Trace. So now you want to go hike in the Alpine zone. What are some things to do to protect these plants? Stay on trail and step on rocks when passing others. Leash your pets so they don't roam around and crush alpine plants themselves. When taking photos, stay on the rocks and be mindful of camping and fire bans above tree line. Alpine zones are special places, and with your help, we can continue to enjoy them while visiting them and hiking above tree line.